So let's first talk about the transition of the indirect tax to the direct tax. While the tax policy could be very effective to the economic growth a lot, and our research focused mainly on the effective tax policy towards the labor market, which could be a very serious problem, especially in the year of 2008, when job market in many countries have been contracted and the unemployment rate maintains very high level. We observed a phenomenon coming from the tax transition. We could see the charts from the analysis of statistical data. Although the tax policy maintains stable in many Western countries, there really exists a kind of a tendency from the 1991 to 2007. We will see that both the five countries has coming into a decline of the indirect tax, although the tendency in Asian countries is more observable. So how will the tax transition affect the market, and through which it affects the growth of economy? From the macroeconomic perspective, the taxation can be divided generally into two parts. One is the direct tax, which can exert directly on the nominal income. We say pre-tax income. And the other is the indirect tax, which mainly exerts on the real income. We will say the post-tax income, and we will also say the individual's actual consumptions. Well, you will say that, of course, different tax will have different influence on both the decision of the consumers and the suppliers' behavior. Some scholars have studied in this field and conclude the difference like financial and taxation illusion. That is, comparing with direct tax, the influence of indirect tax can become more potential and gradual. In our research, we'll use the mathematical model to discuss two types of transformation in tax policy. One of them is to assume that a certain tax form remains stable and just the change of another kind of tax policy, and the other is to assume that the total burden of individual tax remains stable. This is the process steps of our mathematical methodologies, and I will not show you because of limited times. I will just show you that there will be several assumptions quite related to the efficient wage theories, and then we will see some employees personal utility function and also the enterprise's utility function, and then we will talk about two forms of decline of the proportion of the indirect tax. So we will just come to the conclusion. Well, the first is that the decline in the proportion of indirect tax arose by the changes of burden of a single tax. This can be summarized as this. The changes of tax proportion just caused by the decrease of indirect tax will reduce the efficiency of workers and encourage manufacturers to provide more jobs, thereby reducing the wages, and increasing the employment rate and stimulate economic growth. At this point, we will assume that the employment has a positive relationship with the economic growth. But the change in tax proportion caused by the increase of direct tax will increase the efficiency of workers above the tax threshold, while low wages workers' efficiency remains unchanged. Therefore, we will conclude that the direct tax can be more mild than the indirect tax in encouraging the economy to boost or weaken just because of the tax threshold. And the second one, I think, is more meaningful because this is the transformation which just maintains the whole burden of one's individual unchanged. And this will, in the long run, you will know that the enterprises and the employees can foresee the changes in tax wages. So after-tax real income will remain unchanged. So after the mathematical analysis, we will see that if the after-tax wages more than taxable amount, the transformation from indirect tax to direct tax will reduce the unemployment and pre-tax wages. On the contrary, if the after-tax wages is less than taxable amount, the transition will just increase the unemployment rate and the pre-tax wages. As a result, we will say Just 10 seconds.
Yes.
As a result, we will
Also
say
30,
that
also 30.
if the unemployment rate has a negative relationship with the economic growth, direct tax will be beneficial to low-income countries, while indirect tax is more advantageous to rich countries. So this is our project and our paper. Thank you very much.